All right, all right, all right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Words of wisdom with Dr. Nichols. Words of wisdom with Dr. Nichols this morning. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Just got my workout in with my daughters. Come on in, come on in. We did our 2 miles this morning. Leg workout, workout video, all of that. Feeling good this morning. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Come on in, come on in. Feels good. I just outside on this deck. Come on in, come on in. I did my prayer, did my meditation, did my reading. And my reading this morning, I'm telling you, the topic that God gave me was listening in the spirit. Listening in the spirit. See, oftentimes we get caught up in listening in the flesh, and sometimes we get caught up in listening to what other people want us to hear. But when you're listening in the Spirit of God, I need you to hear me real quick. When you're listening in the Spirit of God, sometimes the things that God is going to say to you, you may not always understand it. You may not even agree with it. But when you listen in the Spirit, you have spiritual things. When you listen in the flesh, you have fleshly things. See, the spiritual things will last eternally. Fleshly things will last temporary. See, a lot of people will come to you and tell you things that you want to hear. But if they are true and authentic, they'll tell you what the Spirit of the living God is speaking through them. Even if it hurts them to tell you the truth, they're going to still tell you the truth. But part of the issue is when you see people trying to force their narrative in your life, trying to force their narrative on your life. But when you listen in the spirit, you can differentiate between when God is speaking and when a person is speaking. And when God is speaking, it'll register in your spirit because it'll be spirit to spirit. But what a lot of people fail to realize and what a lot of people fail to understand is God is not going to be mocked. God is not going to be um, mimicked. God cannot be, um, he can be imitated, but he can't be duplicated. You can imitate the things of God, or Satan can imitate. But God himself won't allow those things to happen. And I think that when we're listening in the Spirit of God, we understand spiritual things. Now, you know, I've been in the book of Job. I did the first, second, and the third chapter. But in my reading this morning, the fourth chapter, see, you always have people around you that's going to share what they want you to hear. And sometimes they'll even question your faith in God when you're going through things. Sometimes people will act as though that is something that you did to cause certain things to happen in your life. Let me read it. Let me read some of it to you. Job, the fourth chapter. Then Eliphaz the Temanite answered and said, if one attempts a word with you, will you become weary? But who can withhold himself from speaking? Surely you have instructed many, and you have strengthened weak hands. Your words have upheld him who was stumbling, and you have strengthened the feeble knees. But now it comes upon you, and you are weary. It touches you, and it troubles, and you are troubled. Is not your reverence, your confidence, and the integrity of your ways your hope? Remember now, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the upright ever cut off, even as I have seen? Those who plow iniquity and sow trouble reap the same. But the blast of God they perish, and by the breath of his anger they are consumed. The roaring of the lion, the voice of the fierce lion, and the teeth of the young lions are broken. The old lion perishes for lack of prey, and the cubs of the lioness are scattered. Now word was secretly brought to me, and my ear received a whisper of it. disquieting thoughts from the vision of the night. When deep sleep falls on men, fear came upon me in trembling, which made all my bones shake, and a spirit passed before my face. The hair on my body stood up and stood still, but I could not discern its appearance. A form was before my eyes, therefore was silence. Then I heard a voice saying, can a mortal be more righteous than God? Can a man be more pure than his maker? If he puts no trust in his servants, if he charges his angels with error, how much more those who dwell in houses of clay, whose foundation is in the dust, who are crushed before moth. They are broken in pieces from morning till evening. They perish forever, with no one regarding. Does not their own excellence go away? They die even without wisdom. Let me break it down to you. His friend was talking to him and bringing back to his remembrance of the things that he has done and how his faith was in God. His friend was bringing back to remembrance of the things that he's already done in the world. And he's asking him these questions. So are you not worthy of God being a blessing to you? Why are you going through these things? You have done so many great things, is what he was telling him. And then he was also reminding him. He reminded him and told him, he says, sometimes the things that we go through is not for us, it's for the next person. And sometimes when we're listening in the Spirit of God, it may not always feel good on what we hear in the Spirit of God, but it is what we need to hear in the Spirit of God. And one thing about God is God will check you. And I don't care how much you are doing in society, God will check you because he loves you. And sometimes when people don't check each other, they don't love that person. If your person is doing something or people are doing something around you, you know that it's wrong. I don't care if it's your husband, I don't care if it's your wife, your children, your grandchildren, your mom, your dad, whoever. You need to put that thing in check, in alignment. And when I say that thing, I'm not talking about the person, that spirit that is on them that they don't even realize. Sometimes we can all have a spirit on us that we don't even understand why we're doing crazy stuff. It's because that spirit that is on you. But you got to remember what the spirit of in you can do. You got to remember what the spirit in you can do. It can shatter everything that is out there. It can destroy everything that is outside of you that should be in you or even around you, rather. What's in you protrudes outside of you. What is in you allows God to tamper in the inside of you and taper his word in your heart. And what God does with that is he allows his word to go out of you and return not void, but return in what it's purposed to do. See, sometimes we hold stuff in when we should be releasing. Sometimes we hold stuff in when we should be speaking. Sometimes we hold stuff in because we're afraid to hurt someone's feelings. We need to release it. When you speak truth and a person doesn't receive it, it has nothing to do with you. You've planted the seed. Then someone else will come and water the seed, and God will give increasing wisdom and knowledge and understanding. But you would never, ever allow yourself to get in the point where you're people pleasing other folk and then trying to please God. Can't do it. I'd rather stay on the path that God has for me than to be on the path that man has designed for me. See, the path that God prepares for you, it is for you. The path that man designs for you, it is for them and for what they can reap from that. Be mindful of people who always want you to do A, B, and C, and they're not willing to have that reciprocated back. And you can't even reciprocate it back. Be careful of users. Users come in all sizes, shapes, and forms, and they come in all names, in all relationships. But you got to be careful. You got to be careful of how you're operating in this season of your life. because you're right at the verge. Even with all of the things that Job had gone through, everything that Job has gone through, you have to remember that you are not exempt from things happening in your life, but you are exempt from those things taking and destroying you in your life. But you're not exempt from the weapons being formed, but you are exempt from them prospering in your life. So a lot of people get uncomfortable when you're starting to talk about weapons. Weapons are things that are trying to form against you to stop you from moving forward and doing what God called you to do, right? But no weapon formed against you will ever prosper. See, those weapons are formed in order for God to perform his miraculous signs and wonders, miracle signs and wonders. Yeah. So even when you're going through things, even when you're going through trials and tribulations, just know this here: God is still in control. Even when you can't see him, you got to trust him. See, your faith does not lie within what you see. Your faith lies within what you don't see and how well you trust God through the process. Trusting God through the process sometimes can be difficult. I'm not going to lie. It can sometimes be difficult, but I promise you one thing: it's worth it. Everything that I have gone through in my life, everything that I have faced in my life has been something to take me to the next level, has been something to allow God to be glorified in that situation, even if I didn't see it at the time. I look back now, 20, 30 years ago, I was a total different person than I am today because I was always trying to fit someone else's narrative in my life so that I could be um, liked, I could be accepted. But at 53, I'm doing me. I don't care nothing about being in no crowd. I don't care about being on someone's side or whatever. I can do anything on my own and be okay with that. I don't need no crowd. I don't need anything. I can take myself out to eat. You know, everybody wants to be with the crowd or whatever. You don't have to be with the crowd to do what God called you to do. Sometimes God isolates you to protect you from certain things, and sometimes God causes isolation to bring elevation in your life. Sometimes God can elevate you because you're in the wrong company. Sometimes God can't elevate you because other people around you are getting in your ear. Other people around you are doubting what God has spoken to you. You have to get away from those people because those people have stinking thinking, and others with stinking thinking also get you to begin to start doing the stinking thinking as well. So you need to be around someone that is going to tell you the truth. You need to be around someone that has something going for themselves and they're constantly getting up every morning and they are dominating their goals. They're dominating the vision. They're dominating every day they get up. Even with certain hassles that happen in their life, they're getting up every single morning and they're still making it happen for themselves as well as others. I'm a living witness of that. I don't care who gets upset when I say what I say. I don't care. I get up every morning and make things happen for myself and others around me as well. You know why? God made me a blessing to be a blessing, and God is continuing to bless me to bless others, and I don't take that lightly. But I'm also not going to be used. I'm also not going to be used because oftentimes you can give to the wrong person who don't want to accept and receive it from the heart, but expect it and have an expectancy. And I've learned that I had to tell people that close to me, extended from me. I had to tell people, I said, what I do is what I choose to do. Don't ever tell me what I have to do for you. Yeah. So a lot of people don't want to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you straight up. I'm gonna do what I choose to do, what God has chose for me to do. But don't ever think that I have to do anything that you think that I should be doing for you that you can't do for yourself. And oftentimes people try to get you to do things that they're not even doing for themselves and that they won't even do for you. Some of y'all will jump over the ocean for people and they won't even cross a puddle of water for you. Some of you will wake up early in the morning making sure everybody's all right. and they won't even wake up from a nap to make sure you're all right. Don't let that go over your head. But I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you what I've learned. I stop expecting me in other people, and I stop getting myself frustrated. Let me tell you what it is. Let me tell you. I started doing things for myself, by myself, so that I can make sure that it's done the way that I need it to be done. And if anybody wanted to step in to assist, they would do it. They don't have to ask you. They would do it. So a lot of people say, "Oh, well, you didn't ask, but you come and ask me for everything that you need." But why should I have to ask you when you see what I'm going through, when you sense what I'm going through? Everybody has a discernment until it's time for them to discern that you need something. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Everybody tried to discern when something is wrong in your life, facing them or concerning them, when they can't discern when you're going through stuff and you need someone. See, that selective discernment, I don't need around me. I don't want around me. If you can't discern when I'm sad and you discern only when I continue to do things and it looks like I'm happy on the outside, you're not a good discerner. You're not studying me at all. You're thinking and studying for yourself. And this is what I've learned. Do it yourself. Do it yourself. DIY, do it yourself. Because when you do it yourself, you feel better and you ain't got to wait on nobody to be trying to tell you what they've done for you and all of those things. I don't have time for that. Because I've done the millions of things before. And sometimes I do have to remind people. I don't care how you feel about what I just said, but I meant what I said. Sometimes you have to remind people because they get amnesia. You have to let people know, did I just do this for you? Don't I always do A, B, and C for you? I mean, what have you done for me lately? Sometimes you got to check people, like seriously. And like I said in the book of Job, his friend brought back to his remembrance all of the things that he had done. And he tried to tell him, he said, look, you're not exempt from everyday situations happening to folk. And God lets it rain on the just and the unjust. So God is not trying to just single out one or two people. He's not. God is not trying to single out one or two people and say, oh, I'm going to give them this and I'm going to do this here for them. But right here, I'm going to just shut them down completely. No, you can be doing good and things happen because it's what? It's life. It is life. Life going to keep on lifing even if you don't want it to. And it's time for some of y'all to grow up. The stuff that Job went through, that was growth. The stuff that you have gone through, that should be growth. That should not be stagnant. If you stay stagnant, you miss the move of God. If you stay stagnant, you miss the move of God. If you stay bitter, you miss the hand of God. If you stay bitter, you miss the hand of God. God is trying to move situations around to assist you. Excuse me. God is trying to move things around to assist you. But what are you doing? Stalling, in neutral. God done put you in reverse. He done back you back. Now he trying to put you in drive, but you want to stay in neutral. You want to stay stuck in the same situation. You want a pity party. You want people to feel sorry for you. You want all of those things. God is not in that. That's a trick of the devil. And that's a trick of his imps. So be careful on how you listen. And you must learn to listen in the Spirit of God. You listen in the Spirit of God. Y'all stop listening in your flesh. Y'all stop listening to other people that's talking in their flesh and listen in the Spirit of God. And sometimes the delivery ain't going to be what you think, but you'll know it's coming in the Spirit of God. And God operates differently than what you think he does. It ain't always peaches and cream over here and over there either. Be blessed but never stressed. Dr. Nichols signing off. Listen in the spirit.